Place, da-da-da, that's in place.
Yeah. No. Just being quiet. Okay, let's sync in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Cato in Motion Plays. We are your hosts. I'm Cato in Motion, and this is producer Mike. Say hey, Mike.
Hey.
Thanks again for joining us again this week, guys. Today we're going to be tackling Bramblestock Village, and we will be discussing board games, which seems appropriate considering we're all locked inside. We're going to talk about what our top board game choices are and what we personally would recommend as our #1 lockdown board game to have around. So let's get the ball rolling.
All right, let's go. It's the difficult part of Trine. This is the end. I mean, I don't know because I've never played it before, but I assume this is
Yeah, we're certainly getting warmer. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
classy.
Golly gee. These guys are very unwelcoming.
Nothing like jumping into spikes to start everything.
Yeah, right? It's just like last stream.
Yeah. I swear we're getting better. Maybe. Maybe we'll play better and try and
I do like how we're gonna play the whole Trine series because in a row. I don't often do that with you, but I play the sequel right afterwards. So maybe we'll have the mechanics down, or close to down.
I don't think I've ever played a bunch of sequels in a row either. I mean, it usually takes me years to finish a video game, so there's that.
I was just gonna say, to be honest, I don't finish video games terribly often. So.
Yeah, same problem.
I was looking up before the stream. I was looking about Steam today. Some friends of our accounts, and it was showing the completion rate of games. And yeah, ours wasn't great. We also don't play a lot of games where the goal is to complete them. Like, I think the game when we spent the most time on, we play a lot of casual games together. AKA, instead of Netflix and chill, it's Steam and chill on the couch. And Stardew Valley is like one of our go-to ones, and there's There's no end to that game, as far as I understand. Just kind of open world building.
Seems to be what everyone's into these days, so...
Yeah.
You know, open sandbox.
Animal Crossing is the new rage, for example.
Yeah.
You know?
Even GTA 5 just refuses to die.
Is that right?
Yeah, actually. I was on Twitch yesterday looking at the most top 10 most viewed games. And GTA 5 is actually really high on the list.
Is that right?
I think it's like...
You know, I've never played GTA 5. The last GTA game I played was 4. Which seems like ages ago. I played it when it first came out, showing my experience in gaming, I suppose.
Yeah, I never actually liked the GTA series, so I just never got into it personally. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into this whole, oh man, we should do like a League stream, because a match in League of Legends,
yeah,
you know, it's like 20 to 30 minutes, plenty of time to talk about stuff,
yeah.
and, you know, even if we suck and we piss off a few people, it's actually still a pretty fun game to play.
My favorite streams to watch are sports games for that reason. I feel like the drama is in like an episode of
FIFA,
you know?
also true. FIFA 2020 was, I think, number 6 on that list.
Yeah.
I mean, don't quote me on this, but they're both in the top.
I hear you. I've been getting into The Sims 4 lately in my free time. I'm a filthy casual, what can I say?
I mean, at least you own it, right?
I do, I own it. I was playing and created some of our neighbors, and I created them all in a house together. And my one neighbor, David, he hung out with me while I was playing. And I said, so the thing about this game that you have to get over quickly is that it's a little embarrassing because you're kind of playing with a digital dollhouse, you know? But if you can own up to that, it's quite fun.
Yeah, I personally never got into it, but it is certainly a very popular series.
Indeed. So yeah, not good at finishing
board games.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of board games over the break. We have been going back to an old classic, and that is Splendor. We've been going back to Splendor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, tried and true.
I think I've only played that once with you guys, but I enjoyed it. I actually
only once, huh?
Just haven't had the chance.
That's one of our old favorites. That is absolutely one of our old favorites.
Yeah, no, it's a good choice.
Yeah.
You want to, for the viewers that have not played the game, you want to describe what it's about?
Yeah, in Splendor, you're kind of a gems merchant, and you are, gosh, it's kind of like the colonial times, like European colonial times, and the artwork is definitely kind of harkening back to that era. So I'd say it's about from 150, 200 years ago, right? And so I'd hardly say it's antiquity, but it's the basis of the game is using cards and coins. You kind of do some deck building. You do some deck building, and you try to make the most efficient gems mines, and you try to attract merchants to your gems. So the artwork for the game is really cool. It's one of those games that's very quick to learn, very fast paced and competitive. Kind of screw your buddy, screw the person next to you type thing. And yeah, I'm a big fan of it. It's very fast paced. It's one of those games that's like, it's quick to learn, but it's fair, and the more you play it, the better you do get at it in theory. Although we played with our neighbors, and one of our neighbors won the second game. She didn't quite win the first game, but she did win the second game, so I was impressed. So you can have beginner's luck with this game, but at the same time, it's fair. So yeah, I don't know. It's a well-made game. It's extremely well balanced, and I think that's critical for a board game or a card game because you don't want to feel like the game's cheating you know?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Splendor's been around for a while.
It's from 2016. It's actually a pretty new game, relatively speaking.
Oh, really?
You know, it's certainly not Monopoly or Clue, you know.
Oh, okay.
I still think we have your guys' copy of Settlers of Catan over at our place, unless we ended up buying one and I didn't notice.
I mean, you bought the expansion for Settlers.
Is that what's over at our place? Okay.
Yeah, I think you have part of it. I don't know why we didn't like keep the two of them together.
Well, there have been a few things I've left over at friends' houses, and then you know, coronavirus happened, and it's just okay. I'll see that stuff in a couple months.
Kinda.
I left my boom mic stands over at two different places. But whatever. I'm clearly surviving. How do we get this green bottle of experience goo?
Yeah, I probably should have stuck around near you because you could probably just make boxes.
Yeah, I'm just making boxes and I'm gonna knock it over.
Yeah.
There we go. I did it.
So would you say Splendor's like in your top 3?
Oh, definitely. Splendor's
cool.
our go-to. I wouldn't hesitate at all to put it in my top 3. I don't know what the other 2 would be. Catan's an interesting one. I really want to like Settlers of Catan, but I don't know. There's nothing really bad I can say about it. It's long. Sometimes. Not saying you guys, but some people I know play Settlers of Catan a little bit cutthroat. Careful, poison. And that can be a little bit of a turn off. Like it's almost too popular of a game, and so I feel like people maybe take it too seriously. Oh wait, I need to do one of those thingies, one of those diamond
thingies. Yeah, the triangle.
That was a triangle.
Square? Holy shit, you're a I thought this
it's the rock monster again. Rock monster?
Regular enemy. Yeah, okay. I mean, like, honestly, Settlers isn't for everyone, but...
No, I don't dislike it. I really do like it. I don't know. Top 3's supposed to be reserved for things that are top 3.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, so, what sits in your number 2 spot then?
Oh no. Oh man. Now, I don't know. Splendor might be one of my number 1s. I don't know.
Oh, you already put Splendor. Let's say like. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Well, what do you constitute as one of these board games casual game? Are we counting traditional card games like in 52 cards?
I wasn't counting them, but I mean, like, look, if you want to go in that direction, by all means. Like, I guess it doesn't have a board, but it's a game.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I count on my list, actually, no, I'm not even going to say it, because that'd be a spoiler. But there are, like, things considered board games today that are modern, and they're basically cards.
Yeah.
So, sure, we'll say it's allowed.
So, I think my top games, I don't actually own this game, but I bought it for my folks, and we play it a lot when I'm back on holiday. It's called Machikoro. Do you know this game? It's a city builder. It's a city builder game. And it's all card-based, but you end up putting out so many cards like solitaire in front of you, and everybody does, that you're competing to see who can build their city the fastest. And I'm just impressed by that game at what they can do with cards. And then I think the other game to round out my top 3 would be another card game. Apparently I don't like boards very much. And that is Sushi Go. I just think Sushi Go is too cute, you know?
Oh yeah, Sushi Go.
So yeah, I'd say that those are my top 3 games. Are Machikoro, Sushi Go, and Splendor. And Splendor has to be my number 1. Splendor's fantastic. I think that game is about as perfectly balanced as any game can be. Sushi Go is just silly fun, you know? But growing up, one of my favorite card game was Euchre. You know. I don't know if we've talked about this before about Euchre, but
Oh, yeah, we briefly spoke about Euchre.
Yeah, I think we did on the stream. I think we briefly spoke about it on the stream.
Maybe. Or maybe we were just chatting. D&D. Wow.
Oh.
That, didn't quite work out.
Those spikes were effective.
Spiky? I feel you.
So yeah, so I'd say those are my 3 games. Clearly, I prefer cards over boards. We've gotten some board games recently. We went to a Belgium indie board game kind of expo, and we tried out a bunch of different games, and that was super fun. But my takeaway was, for some reason, I like card games. I like card games that are a little bit more casual. I think it's because I hesitate to get into anything that's too complex, with the exception of D&D. You know, D&D is my one super complex game that I'm okay with getting into. You know?
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Because I used to play really complex video games. For example, Civilization. Like that game is a time suck. It's super complex. And I like city builders, but I have City Skylines. I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but I really enjoy kind of village management systems. So I have the video game Surviving Mars, and I have the video game Vanished, and I have the video game. Oh, what's the other one? What's the other one that I like to play? Oh man! You actually killed me. That was an effective way to kill me. But yeah, so these types of games, these kind of like management games, I tend to be drawn to with video games. But for some reason, when we get together with card games and board games, I guess I want a game that's casual enough that I can have a side conversation over it. And last time we played Settlers, I think I made everybody a little bit angry because I was trying to have a conversation during it, you know? But I think that's just my approach to board gaming, you know?
I mean, I don't remember it being that bad.
I shouldn't say angry, but I think people were underwhelmed at my performance and my willingness to pay attention to the very important game.
You certainly did take your time. There might have been whiskey involved.
There may have been, yes. This was not a completely sober coffee affair. But yeah, I like Settlers. It's just, you know, I just don't like to take game night too seriously. It's all good. You know? So we watched the movie Game Night recently. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I have not.
It was a silly, funny comedy. That would be it's a decent date night comedy movie, popcorn movie. It's not trying to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, but it was silly.
Oh man.
So. Yeah, but anyways, what about you, Kevin?
It's not my cup of tea. Yeah, I'm kind of more in the other direction, but I'm gonna say my #1 game, and I like a lot of board games. It's probably gonna be Codenames.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever had a bad time playing Codenames with anybody,
man.
all ages.
I need to change my top 3 and put that in there.
Yeah, I knew you forgot about that one.
Yeah, I'd forgot about it, yeah.
So for those of you that don't know Codenames, definitely if you get a chance, pick it up. But it's a word association game, and basically you play on teams, and it's 2 versus 2. But you can also just do a co-op version where it's just the 2 of you against the board. And basically, it's the first team to guess 7 clues, and it goes in turns. And you try and connect as many of the words on your word map to a single word. I'm not explaining this the best, but for example, maybe your words are eagle, bald, and freedom. And the person... and you're looking at your word map and you have these 3 words and you're like, okay, the clue I'm going to give my partner is America. and they look at the board and they see these words and they make the connection, they guess all three, then you get all three of those points, for example.
It's not, the game is
America.
not often always that nice to you though, because it's random.
No, it's
so
usually not.
It's usually way more. You have to like think of inside jokes and whatever. Yeah. So it's a lot of.
You go really
yeah.
deep with this game. It's a lot of fun. So if you
got to think, the better you know your partner, the more advantage you probably have. You know.
Very good point. It is a large part of it's actually just knowing who your partner is and playing to their strengths. So yeah, that's probably number one on my list. Number two, I'm going in the opposite direction of Mike here. I do like board games, and I sometimes like more complicated ones. I like terraforming. It's not. Oh yeah. Side note about Codenames. Another reason why it's great. Compact. It's a bunch of cards. It's a 5x5 grid you make with the cards, and it's a cheap game. It's like, I think it's 12 USD and 14 euros. I'm not sure what's more. Yeah, I looked it up while I was prepping.
I didn't realize it was so inexpensive. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And there's expansions and stuff, so if you want to do like the Disney version, or if you want to do like, apparently there's like a Codenames for adults.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Which is probably, yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so there's lots of versions you can check out. So next game, Terraforming Mars, it's a bit more complicated. It's a lot more about resource management. And essentially, future is ruled by corporations, well, very much like today. And your job is to be the first to terraform Mars. So you collect all these resources, and your goal is to basically have the most, I guess, the victory points by the end of the game. And the way you do this is through achieving certain milestones and basically playing certain cards that increase the amount of victory points you get. But certain cards could only be played in specific scenarios, like the temperature of the planet has to raise to like 0 degrees to play certain cards.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of things that you really have to pay attention to every round, and it's a little complicated. And that's just the base game. I have not played the expansion. I heard it's 10 times more complicated.
Wow.
A lot of fun. Takes a long time to play, and it's an expensive board game. It's like 50 years.
Yeah,
so,
I've watched this game played before, and I really, really want to play it. Do you have this game?
Really? I thought about buying it, but I'm just like, man, you guys don't like this game. And if you guys don't like it, like you and Kate are the two people we play board games with. You, Kate, and then I guess Ben and Wanda when they're available.
Yeah, I mean the problem is whenever we're available, we usually play D&D together. So, not that that's a problem.
Nope.
It just
totally not
limits our. So one of the things in 2017 when I had that kind of gap year and I lived with my folks in Indiana, one of the few social things I did with people my age is I went to a board games cafe and we kind of tried new games most weeks till I got into a D&D group, and then that was pretty much what I did, right? But prior to that, there was a Colonizing Mars, right? There was a Colonizing Mars game. Terraforming Mars.
Oh, yes.
There was a Terraforming Mars game that was happening.
Yep.
And I only could eavesdrop because all their players were chosen at that point. But I got a lot out of just watching people play for quite a few turns. And it was, yeah, I really do want to play that game. It's not that I don't want to get into complex games. It's that haven't yet. I don't know. I do like casual games.
I mean, that's
it's just, but yeah, that one definitely because the subject matter. I mean, I literally own the video game Surviving Mars, which is basically the video game equivalent of that. That one's a little bit darker. This is more you're by yourself city building, so I guess it's not exactly the equivalent. That game's a lot more. There's like teamwork involved too, right? Am I thinking right?
For Terraforming Mars?
For the board game. For Terraforming Mars, yeah.
No.
You're playing versus each other?
No. You're definitely against each other.
Definitely against each other.
I mean, like, yeah, check out videos after this again.
I will, yeah.
But it's a pretty cool game. So I think that's just number 2, and number 3 is going to be quick because you already kind of touched on it. It's Settlers for me. I love resource management games. I love Settlers. I love Agricola. That was actually a close 3rd place for me. Yeah, there's just something about it, man. It's like a classic at this point.
It is.
There's so many different strategies you can employ, and this is just base game, not even the expansion. I just really like the base game.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes people do get a little too competitive, but overall, like, it's a lot of fun for me, and it is a bit more of an expensive game. I think it's in the range of Terraforming Mars as well, because of its popularity. But if you haven't tried it before, at least give it a go. And by the way, you need to pull this lever top left.
That's what you were just up there.
I thought the knight had to do it.
The knight has to do it?
I thought the knight had to do it. I've never actually pulled one of these levers. You always end up being one. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Because he's the strongest? Okay. Yeah, man, definitely. We'll check that game out.
So if you had to recommend one board game, and it doesn't have to be from the list you already said, to any of the listeners here that are looking for a new board game to play during the lockdown, what would you recommend? Oh, and the level, so this is a good question.
I mean, I guess, seeing as how you're probably not hanging out with too many people because it's lockdown,
Yep.
I would say Splendor. It's not as well known as I think it should be, and you get hooked on it after one game, and you just want to keep playing. So, I guess that would be the one. That would be, yeah, I'd recommend Splendor. What about you?
Okay. My choice isn't on the list, but on my previous list, but I would recommend Coup.
I don't know this
and
one.
Coup's, when we were in Tivoli, I think you may have went to bed. It's basically the bluffing game. And basically you each start with some influence, and that's like a character in front of you, 2 face down cards. You know what your cards are, obviously, and each card type has an ability. And you basically play through the game face down using the abilities of your card, but no one knows what the card is. So the idea is to like kind of figure out what your opponent has and call them out on it. If you're correct, then they lose 1 influence or 1 card. And if you're wrong, you lose 1 influence. And there's many ways for you to like basically take out your opponents, but it's all about being the better bluffer and sometimes better negotiator. And I think it's a fabulous game. Base game's amazing. There's tons of expansions. I actually bought this game years ago, back when it was a Kickstarter, and had tons of fun with it. Also, super compact. It's like $10, and or maybe it was $12. It's 2 to 6 players.
Which is really flexible. Really flexible.
Yeah. So when I was thinking about this, I was like, yeah, you know what? I think that'd be my choice. I do really like Codenames. I think it's another great option, obviously, but I think Coup would be my pick for what I'd recommend to anybody for the lockdown. And I don't know if you have anything else to add, Mike, but I think...
No, that's great. That's a great... I remember you guys playing that, and you guys were having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You're right. I think I did go to bed, but you guys seem to be having a great lot of fun with that one. If you like those negotiation games and a lot of those am I lying, am I telling the truth games, that's definitely... Yeah. And the artwork for it was great. So...
Yes, the artwork's great. Other added bonus, and another reason why I recommended this, 1 round takes like 10 minutes.
That's great.
So
that's
you can just...
Yeah,
and as you learn your opponents too, it gets more interesting. There's so many layers to this game, even though it's kind of simple in its concept. So anyways, yeah, if you don't know it, check it out. And I think on that note, this concludes this episode. So thank you everyone for joining us again this week for another episode of Cato in Motion Plays. I hope you learned about some board games you didn't know about before. And we're going to post links to all these in the description below, so you can check them out and see if any of them tickle your fancy. So until next time, stay safe, obviously, and we hope to see you for the next episode. Take care, everybody.
camera sync in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Cato Emotion Plays. We are your hosts. I'm Cato Emotion, and this is producer Mike. Say hey, Mike.
Hey!
Thanks again for joining us, guys. Today we're going to be tackling the Iron Forge. I think we're getting pretty close to the end of Trine 2009, the Enchanted Edition. So, yeah, we're going to get the ball rolling, and we'll be discussing AI assistants today, which I know could be a really deep subject. So, we're going to see where this goes. Maybe it's too heavy for this pod.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not.
We'll try to keep it light.
Well, yeah.
We are nearing the end. Just as I'm getting decent at this game, you know, we have to say goodbye to it. And just as our players are getting leveled up, then we have to go to Trine 2 with brand new players.
Tall and menacing.
I don't know. I feel pretty good about this game, though. I like this game. I'm excited to play this series.
Oh man, we should definitely like do a kind of like a compilation video of segments of this game.
Yeah.
And just review it.
Yeah.
Because
do a game review.
I mean,
cool.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna play through the whole thing and we have all this footage, we might as well do that.
Yeah. We could even get together on the couch and just record us talking about the game and then insert those little sections, you know?
I think that's an even better idea. Now that they're lifting some of the quarantine
You know it. You know it.
rules, yeah.
Sunday you get to have friends not just in the weekend, but you have to select them wisely.
Oh, in Belgium, for like you guys in North America,
yeah,
you got a ways to go, unfortunately. But you know, hopefully things get better soon for you guys.
So yeah, I just watched the new Joe Rogan episode with Elon Musk, and he's talking about the next level thing. It makes little AI assistants like Google Voice, Hello Google. It makes that look like child's play. He's talking about the Neuralink. That's still in concept from, I don't know, I think it's the Boring Company? It's not Tesla. I don't know. No, Neuralink's its own company. Anyways, Elon Musk is both a genius and borderline scary, you know, the ideas he comes up with. But, so, he was predicting that is very much the future is like cyborg interface and everything. So, but his whole argument was that we're already cyborgs because we use our phones and laptops and everything. I don't know how much I believe.
Yeah, no, that's a stretch. That's a huge stretch.
It's an opinion. I mean, I think you can argue that. At the same time, I think, at what point do we argue that that's the case? You use a kitchen appliance, therefore you're a cooking cyborg? I don't know. It's just, we could keep stretching this definition as far as you want, you know? Oh, we're in the Stone Age, so you're a cyborg? You know?
I think the example he gave was a poor choice. I mean, he could have said, you know, we use pacemakers or like internal monitors, or we like augment our hearing with hearing aids. Oh,
I'm not being
I haven't seen the episode.
I'm not being completely fair to it, but no, it's
Most
interesting.
People aren't.
It's interesting, yeah. No, I enjoyed the episode, but it was a little freaky to predict that.
Oh yeah, man.
To predict that there would be brain implant interfaces. I like to kind of live in denial. The technology's going to move more slowly than that, but who knows?
Oh, definitely not. Also, the minute we do that, technology will move in faster because it'll augment their capabilities.
Oh yeah.
So that's a whole other thing, and then nanotech.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about, hey, do you ask your phone to set a timer? Do you ask your phone to give you directions? Do you ask your phone to do this and that? So, or not just your phone, but they've got the little things in the home. They've got
Nests.
Yeah. Ben has one of those. Our friend Ben, friend of the show, Ben. He's got one of those from Google. And
Google.
He uses it basically to control music and control timers and ask questions, but basic questions. So
yeah,
he doesn't use it a ton, but it's cool.
Well, disintegrated. Okay, so have you used, do you
This is definitely
own
the
or
end of the
use-
game, by the way. Like, we're trying to have a conversation,
Yeah.
but this is definitely the end of the game. Oh, yeah, right. Triangles. Duh.
Triangle. That thing that we're bad at using. Make sure you put the flat part on
Make
top.
sure I can draw a triangle.
I have, oh my god, a box that disintegrates. That's good too. Have you used an AI
It's so hard to
before?
draw
Let's start with that.
triangles.
Man, you're really gifted at boxes though, like.
Thanks, bro.
No problem. I mean, you should probably be the first one to go over, and then you can draw yourself another triangle, because this one will disappear. Just stay centered and make sure it doesn't draw faster. Oh my god, draw fast again. Draw! Draw, damn it! Nah, you're dead. Good run. Okay, you're dead. Good run.
Oh, just when I was saying I was getting better at Trine. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, jeez. I think I'll answer the question first. So I feel like I'm less distracted than you are.
Yeah, I'm drawing triangles. I mean, I use them. I use my phone. I use Siri. And I'm not terribly impressed with Siri. That's the whole I know that I have an iPhone 6, so it's hardly the cutting edge of technology. And I know that I don't see the things that are in laboratories. But at least what's on the market for consumer products, I don't know. I don't mean to be a naysayer, but I'm not completely convinced that AI is going to completely... It'll definitely change the world, but I don't think it's going to completely take over everybody's job and revolutionize everything like some people do, you know? Now, that doesn't mean I'm resting on my laurels. I try to do what I can to be a good, like, 21st century creative worker, so that I kind of guarantee I've got a job, you know? But I don't have the same fear that some people have. Maybe that, but again, I don't know everything. There's a lot that's in development that is not released for, hey, how'd you get over there? Good job. You need to... Yeah.
I went all the way back around, and it turns out we could access it from behind the spike wall.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, I mean, like, I see what you're saying, and,
But yeah, I use Siri.
Yeah.
I use Siri to set a timer today, you know? It's just like, hey, Siri, set a timer for blah, 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 you know? So... Because I ask Siri questions, and Siri does not do a good job at understanding my questions, so usually when I just...
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It's not really for me right now, because the technology is not advanced enough. I mean, I'm sure it actually is advanced enough, but what we have available to us is not advanced enough for it to make it worth my while. I can do most of the things faster. I've used Google Home actually at your fiance's parents' place. When Lindsay and I were staying there.
Were you impressed?
And honestly, like, no, it was kind of fun for a bit. Also, they connected it to their lights on the main floor, so you could tell Google to, like, turn off the lights in the living room, and that it would do that well. But when it came to, like, looking up certain artists on Spotify, it would just mess it up all the time.
Yeah.
Or you'd ask it more complicated questions, and you'd just be disappointed with the answer you get.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, I'm just better off using my phone to achieve most of these tasks faster, except for like turning on and off the lights, obviously.
Yeah.
It's gonna do that one thing faster. So for me, it's just kind of like, yeah, this is pointless right now. It will get better.
It will. It will get better. I think it's hard to understand voice. I think it's easy to kill a wizard. I think it's hard to understand voice. There's a lot of actual. I actually looked into it because I was really curious. There's some research on synthetic voice programming for Flemish being done at ULB. It's a couple years old, but it's some of the leading synth voice research being done in the world, and it's not very tech. I mean, of course, it's tech related because it's AI voice, but it's done by the phonetics department, not the engineering department. So it's linguistics or whatever. Linguistics. There's no phonetics department. Linguistics department. Go ahead. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of research going on that. I think that the experimental applications are great for deaf people, for example. I know Microsoft is working on a lot of tech for like experimental tech for deaf people, so that they can basically use some sort of version of FaceTime and Skype, and using avatars that you would see similar to like video game art quality, and basically taking the speech that they create and then synthesizing it into a more believable voice. But the synthesized voices today just sound like what the late Stephen Hawking sounded like, you know? They haven't really... They're more soothing than before. They've taken the rough edges out, some of the digital rough edges, but it's still... So... Although, there was that one display where a Google Assistant made a haircut appointment. That was pretty impressive. And the Google Assistant actually said, which was pretty creepy, you know?
Well, I mean, the whole point of Google doing this promotion where if you have a Spotify account, you could get a free Google Home or something.
Yeah.
It's just so that they have millions of people to Google Home so they can collect all this data to improve the functionality of Google Home, and therefore they can study all your speech patterns, and we have millions of examples now, and just like, what I actually find more interesting than just like AI assistants is actually like Internet of Things and how our devices connect and relate to each other in different ways. Like that's been more interesting for me personally, just because I think AI has come a long way, definitely for like military purposes.
Oh yeah.
But for like our everyday use, not so much.
No.
We get the link for now. But like Internet of Things is really interesting because
yeah, smart everything, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's useful for how you communicate with your car. Back when I was in North America and I was driving every weekend, it's just I actually did like talk to my car like a fair bit to give it commands when driving, because you know you shouldn't be texting on your phone or everything while you drive.
Yeah.
No one do that. I never do that.
No, don't. I don't really drive very much, but when I do, I'm pretty strict about no phone. I try not to even really have phone calls.
Yeah, bad.
Because even if it's hands-free, it's distracting, you know.
It is. It seems like the rules in Europe are very different. My lord, I see people doing everything you can imagine.
Do you think their rules are different, or do you think people are just really cocky drivers, really confident drivers, really?
I mean, there's that too. I just don't think they enforce this heavily in North America, where they'll give you $750 fine and 2 demerit points and like suspend your license. Like, that's Canada. I don't know about the U.S.
I don't know about the U.S. To be
Anyways,
honest. Some of this stuff is knowledge that I don't have. You know, I've been gone too long.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure it's state by state.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like some similar stuff. So yeah, like smart homes, for example. That's a cool thing, and it's also become more common. My brother has it, the Nest, where you can control like the climate of your home. And I think he also has it set up with an app where, there was some other stuff you could do, like lighting, and there's also functions where you can set up a lock for your door that's electronic. So you can control remotely, like opening and closing your door for people, which is kind of cool, especially if you own like a Airbnb, for example. Definitely. Stuff like that. So I thought that was cool. Also, like, you know, medical care for the elderly, Internet of Things. So like, for the what's the thing called? The implants they put into their ears. The actual
hearing
implants.
aids. Are you talking about? Or something
I
more
think
complex?
Called like cochlear. cochlear implants. Thank you, brilliant wife.
Yeah, thank you, doctor.
Whispering in my ear. So yeah, connecting those to like devices in their home to make their lives more easier, so that they could just say stuff and the earpiece picks it up, and it knows to do certain tasks depending on what your disability is, obviously. So stuff like that, Internet of Things. For medical use, medical records, you know.
Well, no, that's the crazy thing, is hooking it up to your iWatch, and you just go to the doctor and they scan you, and there's all your data. That kind of stuff speeds things up, but then there's the issue of privacy. You know, it's with all this convenience, what is privacy going to look like 10, 20 years from now? And I think that's a concern that some have, and I think the more cynical of us, myself included in a certain mood, would say privacy? What privacy? I don't think there will be much privacy in the new world. So,
I mean, myself not in a cynical mood on any given day would be like, why are we even talking about privacy? We don't have any. The privacy we do have is all of facade, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
I'm using an Acer
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just saying I'm using like my Acer computer right now, and it has like Windows 10 on it. Obviously, Microsoft's collecting data on most of the things I do on my computer.
Yeah.
Not only to improve their software, but for their own personal use, possibly to sell for all we know.
Probably to sell, you know?
All the time!
Because
like
you're a user.
Our cell phones. Yeah. Yep, like our cell phones. You know they're listening. We go through this all the time when you just see ads pop up for things that you're discussing with your friends. And it's just like, man, that shouldn't even be allowed. Like, hey, whatever.
Oh yeah, the
Anything
phenomenon
goes.
where you have a chat, and then the next thing you know, it's being sold to you.
Yep.
Oh
it's
no!
Like, to me, it's
I feel like I should just kill myself.
Oh jeez! Wow, you just.
Yeah, I just fell down the hole.
Hurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna die so I can join you. Okay.
Oh, you're beside me now, so good job.
That was my objective. Sweet. Oh, we're here now.
Yeah.
This looks like the end of the game. Look at this. Look at all the things trying to kill us, Kevin. It's lovely.
It is.
There's another game we played a couple years ago called Ori and the Blind Forest. Do you know that game?
No.
Well,
After
Kate
you, by the way.
mostly played that game, and you ought to play that game. The art is gorgeous, and it's a really cool platformer. Kate played that game, and I really supported her because she wanted to work on her platforming skills. And at the end of the game, she's like, "Okay, this is more stressful than fun. Everything's trying to kill me."
What do you mean?
The floor is lava.
Oh.
She kept saying that over and over again. So it just became a cadence. It was kind of funny to see her suffer and die. So we never did finish that one. Got real close. Go back and play that game. That game was great. They did a sequel or a DLC that was there was so much DLC that it was sequel-esque. I'm not really sure the full story on that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for. You know what I'm ready for? I'm ready for a true digital assistant. I'm ready to completely delegate tasks to an AI to figure out for me. I don't think we're too far off, you know?
No, I don't think we're too far.
I can voice command Siri to work with my with my Google. I just make brands there. My Apple Calendar, my iCal, and schedule appointments for me, and that's kind of nice. I'm just waiting for the next level thing, you know? I bet if I utilize the tech to its nth degree, the current tech, I bet I would find that there's a lot more to do.
Sufficient?
Yeah. But I'm trying to get these green bottles, and I'm trying to get this chest, but I don't know how to get there. I just fell, though. That's wonderful. I
You're not
missed.
dead. Oh, yep.
We are not dead. We are not
Now
dead. Can you shoot arrows, please? 'Cause I'm scared to die.
Yep, doing it. Doing it.
Thank you. We left a box up there, by the way.
Yeah, because you came down here and this is your game.
It was an
me.
accident. It was an accident.
But it seems like this is where we're supposed to be, so who cares?
Who cares?
So
But
yeah.
maybe that's the Excalibur sword that we need to defeat the final bad guy. I doubt it. I'm just.
Where are you going?
Trying to go.
I have to go to the right. What? Like,
I think
there's
it's a lost
pots
cause.
and stuff here.
I think it's a lost
Yeah.
cause. Okay.
No, let's just keep going. So yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to the next level thing because I, like you, I'm a bit cynical about the whole desiring of privacy, and I'm ready for the AI assistant. But what about? There's something kind of interesting. I've seen some experimental kind of machine learning chatbots. There are some really impressive chatbots in the world these days, and there's one from the University of Stanford that is a chatbot that serves as like a psychology aid of sorts, you know? So it doesn't replace a psychologist, but it's sitting there, and if it's, you know, the middle of the night, you don't have a psychologist to contact, you can talk to this bot, and this bot can kind of talk you down, you know? And it's, I don't know, I thought that was really interesting, and I just thought about how can chatbots help with loneliness in the future? You don't want them to replace human contact, but how can they better serve? Because right now, chatbots are used mostly for customer service, you know? I don't know. I think chatbots are a really interesting AI for me because you don't have to. You're not asking it to do more than just kind of talk with humans, and that's complex.
Damn it, wizard.
Sorry.
Yep. True. Look, the future's chobits, man. We're all gonna have like robot partners.
Yeah.
And that's just gonna be what it's gonna be, man.
Yeah. I heard someone joking the other day, get ready for an AI to tell you artificial. That's such AI, that's such an antiquated word. I'm just life. I'm just another form of life. Yeah, get ready for that to be the next, you know, woke use of words there. It's probably close to true, you know. That we'll look back at AI
it'll eventually happen.
as like a bigoted phrase, you know.
I need the wizard, man.
Okay. I don't know this puzzle. I don't really get what's going on right now. That's what's going on.
Yep. Getting that green bottle. Slowly lowering this platform so I can hop across. Slowly lowering this platform into lava. Okay, there we go. I made it.
Nice work.
Alright, I don't know which character you want to use.
Just any character that can get me over there.
I mean, probably use the yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about AI as a whole. Just where it's going, getting into implants, yes, privacy. Why would you want to give so much control of your own person to a corporation? Like, we see time and time again that you can't trust corporate interests. The only thing they care about is getting bigger and badder and pleasing their shareholders so that they can keep taking more money to get them badder and rule the world. It's like, okay, well, any chip you put in you is going to be controlled by someone other than you at the end of the day. So, if you're okay with that, fine, but I'm not.
I just feel like it's going to start out as, and that's what Elon Musk talked about, is it's going to start out as a medical thing. So it's going to be like to repair brain damage. It's going to be, you know.
Yep.
So
it always starts with like, you know, the best of intent. And then
yeah, definitely.
Someone uses it for evil.
Yeah.
And, you know,
What is it?
that's
The road
end of that. Not to be...
The road to heaven is paved with bad intentions, or wait, good intentions. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Man, idioms. I'm great.
Yeah, there we go. I'm terrible at them too, but I knew what you're trying to say. Yeah, I don't know, that's how I feel about it. It's not that I'm like afraid of technology. No, I just don't trust humans because we proved time and time again that we're incapable of actually learning, which is why history just keeps repeating itself and it's infuriating. It's like, yeah, COVID's happened. This is terrible. We need to do better for like our planet. Yeah, you know, give it another year and we'll see what happens. Also, you know, if we could ever settle on... Oh, that's for another topic. Never mind.
I mean, I am looking forward to some of the conveniences. I mean, having I'm not going to be an early adopter of a neural net. That's for sure. I'll hold out for as long as is socially acceptable, you know. I won't say forever because you never know what the social pressures will become.
I mean, I'm pretty sure at a certain point you won't be able to get a job or compete
without one,
without an implant. Like, you know it's going to be that way.
But at the same time, humanity's always had an obsession over, like, but at the same time, in sports, for example, we try to pretend like steroids are illegal, you know? And there are many exceptions to that. But we call those people cheaters, you know? And we still do drug testing, for example, at the Olympics. We don't just take the strongest human to do something. We actually say, like, no, you have to be all natural. So that's something we currently obsess over. And the idea that we're not going to obsess over that in the future is... Like, I feel like there are a lot of possible enhancements right now, but you don't see a lot of people chopping their legs off to get cyborg legs, even though those bowed legs that runners get, that you can actually be potentially faster than that amputee runners get, you know? Like, you don't see people using these enhancements left, right, and center. You see people living more of a natural life, natural in air quotes. You know.
I need boxes, man. I need boxes.
What do you need? You need boxes? Okay.
We need to push all 3 of these switches, so we need at least 1 box, and then you can drop the other arm down. There we go.
Hooray!
We did it.
Sorry, I'm being a little bit of an airhead
just...
wizard right now, you know.
It's all right. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
You know.
Yeah.
The reality is the need or the want to do that isn't great enough. The reason, the why to do it isn't strong enough to make people want to chop off limbs to like replace it with, you know, cyborg augmentation.
Too few benefit from it.
Yeah, we're just not at that point.
Yeah.
You know, if it gets to the point, or when it gets to the point that everyone's doing, you just simply cannot compete in life unless you do this augmentation. That's when you're going to see a lot more people adopt things.
But like on the previous stream, we had a conversation about gardening and home gardening, and realistically, it's so much cheaper to spend your time making resources, money, and then going and buying food from the grocery store. And at that, buying processed food is cheaper than buying a lot of fresh produce. But why do we want fresh produce? Health. You know, we don't want to, and also taste. And we don't want to just eat Soylent Green and live till we're 100 years old. You know, like, you know, we want to live something like a natural life. I feel like we're still a little connected to. Like, why haven't people replaced mountain vacations with mountain VR? VR is really impressive, but it's not. I do think humans like the natural. Like, we're in the music industry. Why don't people only like electronic music? It's true, electronic music is the most popular it's ever been. Sorry, I'm talking and I'm the wizard. I'm sorry, it's happening again. But why do people still like?
Why can I even argue?
Why do people still like folk music? Why do people still like you know? I think there's like, I hear the word authenticity being thrown around and abused, and it's to the point where it almost doesn't mean anything anymore. but still, there's this inherent nostalgia in humanity. I feel like if Neuralink comes online, it's going to be the military who uses it, and it's going to be fringe people in Silicon Valley, you know? So, but I think there will be laws that have to deal with it for sure. And I don't know, it'll be really interesting. I'll probably be in my 50s, so who the heck knows what happens, but it's definitely going to affect the next couple generations of people after us, that's for sure. You know?
Yeah, they're gonna have to deal with a lot more of this crap. Figure out how to navigate it, but
I wanted to go on a date with him, but he doesn't have the Neuralink. You know, it's like, you know, it's just, things are gonna get weird. But well, what we perceive is weird, but then again, you go 100 years ago and you show people the life we're living, and they'll say, what? Somebody said what on what book? Who cares? Relax.
no, you're right.
So, whatever the future does is gonna look weird to us. I don't know.
I just think we value progress and growth more than sustainability, and we always have, and this is something that we're just not fixing. We're just building more things that are more advanced to kind of temporarily solve the problem. Like, we just keep compounding issues on top of each other.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
And I think until we get to the point where, you know, we can look at sustainability and think that way, think more long term, you know, we shouldn't really have all these things. We really shouldn't. What are we going to do? Wage more war? Fight over more resources? No, more people?
Do you think coronavirus...
Create more inequality?
Do you think this kind of like coronavirus quasi-sabbatical for people and work from home period has perhaps illuminated some of that progress obsession? Or, like, do you think the debate will actually be had now? Not that things will massively change, but do you think people will actually start talking about it? I mean, we're talking about it, I guess we're weird. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely think people will talk about it. The only problem is people have very short attention spans and, you know, even shorter memories. So, yeah, it's great. We'll have the conversation for a bit. And at this
also,
point...
who's going to fuel the propaganda to try to get us back to work and back to buying things? Come on. It's the people who have all the power.
Exactly. And they're just consolidating power while this is happening anyways. So this is only going to get worse. Wow. You really want to kill yourself.
I'm not trying to. This is the floor is long.
Really dark.
Yeah, well, it's the end of the game. Look at our surroundings, Kevin. It's hard to be positive right now. I would not. I think this place needs some interior decorating, to say the least.
Yeah, whoever designed it definitely did not feel inspired.
I'm excited
by anything other than death.
I am excited to try to put a positive spin on things. I am excited as a music composer. Some of the tools that have come out recently have enabled someone like myself with a bit of a more formal education. Because I got my formal music education in the beginning of the aughts, you know? Well, really, it's been, I mean, you know, music, it's kind of a lifelong thing. But as far as university, oh my gosh, draw a triangle. That is not a square. That is not a square. That is a triangle. Equilateral or isosceles triangle. Oh, come on.
Yeah, what are you even trying to do? Do you want me to, like, switch characters with you? Because I'm like, there we go. It brought you over to me.
I was trying to draw a triangle for, like, 5 minutes. Anyways.
I did not succeed, but now you're here with me, so it doesn't matter. I'm so dead. The
thing, I don't have all the cutting edge. Oh, come on. I don't have the most cutting edge music tech at my fingertips, but I have music tech that is from the last decade. And it's constantly, this is a triangle game. Please recognize what I'm trying to draw.
Use the thief, man.
No,
the thief
I'm drawing a triangle. Now
stuff.
I'm getting stubborn because this couldn't be more triangle.
I also need the wizard to push switches.
I'm sorry, this is frustrating and I'm stubborn and I would like to have the game recognize what I'm trying. The game created this mechanic. It needs to observe. Thank you, game. Triangle.
This is what determination looks like, people. Never let anyone tell you that you can't make a triangle.
Alright, so...
Oh, man.
As far as music tech goes, I'm not using the most up-to-date stuff, but I'm still constantly impressed by the gadgets and things that are finding their way to music store shelves. You know, it's just it's making creativity. It's
easier.
You can do more faster. You know. Now
you can do more faster with technically less.
With less stuff and for less money.
Cost.
Yeah, like the amount that it is to start up a studio now versus the 1970s is just stupid different, you know?
Yeah, now anyone can produce music.
Now anybody can produce music. You don't need a formal training, you know? So, but it's also nice to have formal training because then it's like, okay, now how can I utilize these tools to... I don't know. I just think it's... Like, I can't believe I'm video editing. That's something I was always interested in growing up as a kid, and I can't believe with computers and everything that I can do that. And the video editing software we both use is relatively inexpensive, and I'm impressed by how robust it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know?
Yeah, build whole channel using hit films, people, in case you're interested. But yeah, blows my mind how cheap it was and how powerful it is for that price.
And so to think that AI is going to play a role in that and voice-controlled things is going to play a role in that, I'm really curious about voice to MIDI and how that's like. Just to think that I'm going to spend a lot of my life being able to just sing into a microphone and then say voice command, make that a cello. No, wait, make that 100 cellos. No, wait, make it trombone. Swing it. You know, like just all by voice command. That's just. Where did you go, by the way?
I'm at the end. I'm up top.
Yeah. Oh, top. There, top. Okay. I'm gonna have to do like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to draw
my
more.
arrows. Sorry.
Okay. I drew a triangle.
But yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be benefits to our everyday lives. I do not deny this. This would be a lot easier if you just use the Thief Pro.
If I just use the...
Thief.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
I don't know why you hate using the Thief so much. It just makes sense.
I don't hate. Hate's a strong word.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, you actively avoid using it. Are you sexist?
No. I just don't want to...
It's okay.
I get my argument is I don't want to embarrass myself on the stream, and then I proceed to embarrass myself. So it's not a really good argument.
You made it. You made it.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Yeah, that conversation went to many places, many of which were very dark. Sorry about that, but thanks again for joining us this week. I hope you had a good time. And yeah, hope we'll see you back here for the next episode for some more fun-filled conversations with producer Mike and I. So until then, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon. Later.
3,
I'm ready.
2, 1. I'm gonna send you live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Cato in Motion Plays. We are your hosts. I'm Cato in Motion, and this is producer Mike. Say hey, Mike.
Hey.
Yeah, so today I think we are on the second last level. Yeah, second last level of Trine. We'll be doing the Tower of Sarek, and we'll also be discussing astronomy, telescopes, and space, the final frontier, as we do so. So let's get the ball rolling.
All right, here we go.
As our heroes climbed the stairs, a terrible coldness chilled them to the bone, and the sounds of the forge faded. It was quiet. Too quiet.
It's a great
And
line.
then
I think everybody's used that line
heard
at some
the
point. It was
voice.
quiet, too quiet. I like this game. I'll be sad to see this game go. Trine 1.
This doesn't feel good at all.
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and assume that they've made improvements somewhere between Trine 1 and Trine 4.
Oh, it can be a little broken at times. Oh, that's scary.
Oh, straight up like we're fighting a boss? I don't want to
so.
be wizard. It sucks. Why are you my character? Oh, how are we going to do that? Oh, is this one of those annoying levels where you kind of have to run and avoid the boss until you get to your destination?
Yeah. I feel like I've been using the wizard this whole time with a controller, and that it's actually probably easier with mouse. I just realized that.
It's probably easier with a what?
With a keyboard and mouse, specifically the wizard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm using keyboard and mouse, so I'm obviously biased.
Yeah.
But,
I've been using a controller more, so it's, you know, it's fun and all, but...
I've adjusted rather quickly. Woo! That's a red box. Oh. It's a red box that's hard to destroy.
So this is the boss. This is the serious stuff, huh? This is yeah, this is tricky.
We're in the big leagues now, guys.
we sound so underwhelmed. I am actually excited. I'm not expressing it clearly, but this is actually really cool. Good level design.
Yes. I'm not being sarcastic, guys.
I died. Great job.
You're right beside me. You revived. It's okay.
I'm glad there are no consequences to my failing.
Me too. I'd be very upset if we had to reclimb it.
I think it would be fun to go back and replay Trine from the beginning, but with the kind of game mode where if you die, you're dead for the level, you know?
The hardcore mode?
Yeah.
I mean, fun's one word for it.
Fun is one word for it.
Oh my gosh. Oh geez, lava's rising. Huh, didn't see that before.
Yeah, it is definitely. You predicted it, though.
Yeah, but I didn't know if they'd follow through. Yep. Classic. I fell in. Alright, let's keep climbing.
It's the end. It's triangle. There we go.
How do we... Oh, you're trying to get that. Thank you.
Do it. Jump. There you go.
Yeah, sorry guys. We're supposed to be talking about space. And,
yeah, well, it's kind of hard.
You know, all that. Yeah, but we're gonna do it. Hey, Mike, why don't you
take it
lead
away
off with some space talk?
Well, so I'm a big, like, I grew up a Star Trek nerd and an astronomy kid. So I'm by no means an astronomer, but it's always been a curiosity of mine. And so whether it's you know, Discovery Channel as a kid, or YouTube, or watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, I've always been fascinated with astronomy. I got astronomy merit badge and scouts, and just, I don't know. It's not that I'm very good at astronomy. It's not that I can, like, point out many constellations in the night sky, but it's just, I've always been curious about the distant past and the distant future of humanity, and not particularly with regards to fiction. Now, I know we're playing like a fictional kind of alchemy magic game from, I suppose, a past, even though it's fictional. And yeah, fantasy's fun, but the things that really interest me are kind of opposites, and that's dying in lava, and that's paleontology, and like the future of humanity, kind of the space race and things of that nature, you know?
Oh, okay. Whoa, you killed all our guys?
I didn't mean to. The game glitched and made me like, it spawned me down there and killed him. I am sorry. I did not mean to do that. On the last board too. We have to restart the level from the beginning.
Yeah, I think we do.
You notice there's no check marks.
Yeah, there are. Dang. Wow. Maybe more careful this time.
Quickly, jump forward.
So yeah, one of my favorite series is The Expanse, and I'm not even crazy about the alien story in it, about the proto-molecule story in it. It's more, the thing that interests me is kind of the politics of future humanity and future Earth and Mars.
With people in the Mars belt and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the politics between Martians yeah. Actually, Lindsay just started watching that, and I tuned in for a few episodes and thought, hey, this is actually pretty cool. I wasn't interested before, but I started getting into it a bit. Running out of cool things to watch. Definitely a cool show.
I'm a fan of The Expanse, but it's just, but I'll find myself, if I'm, another one on Netflix is the show. Well, when I edit this episode, I'll be able to actually put it. But it's a Mars show, and it's basically like it's a present day documentary combined with a future. I'd say it's a mockumentary, but a mockumentary implies that it's comedy. It's basically like a fictional future documentary, right?
Oh. Weird. Okay.
So what I mean by that is it interviews the first people to travel to Mars. Oh my goodness! I keep dying, Kevin. I'm so sorry. This is like truly the last level. This is really hard.
Yeah, I think it's the last level before they added the expansion. So the idea is definitely. Oh my gosh! I keep summoning crap that's killing me. Whoa.
Yeah, I've also, like, I listen to, you know, Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I don't know, it's just, there's so much out there, and it's not that I can, by memory, recall anything of detail at this moment, but it's definitely a genre of non-fiction that I find fascinating, because it's all so fantastic, you know. It's all so like the scale of everything. When you talk about galaxies and nebulas and universe, even just our own solar system, even traveling from here to the moon, it's mind-blowing, you know. So.
Yeah, I hear you. It does give you like the sense of bewilderment, and really puts a lot of things in perspective when you just look up. And the sky, the night sky, when you're like camping and all you see is like millions of stars.
Yeah.
And you're just like, how?
Or it's like almost a star soup. There's so many out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice job not dying.
Yeah, so far, you know, oh, you dick. Oh, it revived me for some reason. Maybe I get a freebie?
get like 1 freebie.
Oh, jeez. This is not going the way I hope. So the faster you climb it, the better. The lava does not go up at the same rate as you
The
climb.
lava rate is somewhat forgiving. The respawning your character right on the lava is not forgiving.
Yeah.
Not that I can complain. I've made some really bad jumps. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really interested in Mars. One of the things I've been really interested in is the possibility of humanity traveling to Venus. There's a nice job. Nice platforming.
Oh, thanks.
Classy gentleman. Nice platform. Yeah, actually Venus isn't as popular of a destination in most circles because
Isn't it crazy hot?
well, as a species we tend to be surfaceists. The moon landing was so special because we could walk on the surface of the moon. You can't walk on the surface of Venus. It would crush you and boil you, yes. It's the hottest planet in the solar system on the surface.
We'd have to figure out some stuff.
But it's like a twin planet to Earth in size, and that's huge with regards to gravity. So it also has a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and sulfuric acid, but we're actually really good at blocking sulfuric acid. You can use something that's basically the same thickness and material as a firefighter's outfit, and you can hang out with an oxygen mask in the upper atmosphere. And it's so dense that we can build basically zeppelins, like huge blimps and cloud cities up there in the clouds of Venus. So the NASA program, this is all non-fiction. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, so in that sense, I guess it's not non-fiction. But it's this is all well documented by NASA, and they have a program called the Havoc program, which I think is a terrible name for a program, and it's about how to implore.
It's not gonna work out.
Yeah, right. How to implore blimps. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I see it. I see the checkpoint. Don't die, Kevin. Don't die, Kevin. You see the checkpoint? You're amazing.
Brutal.
Thank you for doing all the difficult stuff.
Make it.
That's amazing.
No problem, man. Thank you for keeping the conversation going, because you were losing me really fast. Woo!
So yeah, so that's a personal favorite of mine, is looking into particularly humanity expanding into the solar system. Because when you look too far into the distant future, things become crazy. But when you look to, based off of today's technology, what's something we can speculate to actually being semi-realistic? It's quite interesting. One of my favorite YouTubers, his name is what? Red is instant death?
Yeah, don't step in the red stuff.
Don't step in the red stuff. Don't step in the Kool-Aid. One of my favorite YouTubers is...
This is what we actually need the wizard, bro. We need a wizard.
For what?
For what? To connect, build stuff on these posts so we can actually get up to the top before lava comes and ruins our chances of entering.
Okay.
Platform? Wrong way. Other way. See this post right here? This post.
Got it.
This post. Now we need something to get us to the post. Like a triangle to jump on.
Oh, I hate triangles. But I'll try. That is not... You see me trying to draw triangles, right? There we go.
You need more passion in your triangle drawing, bro. Passion. Oh, we made it. Oh, okay.
We made it to the part where now we get to fight the boss.
I mean, fighting a boss is probably easier. Let's be honest.
Or did we just do it? What?
Wait. That's the end of the game. Sorry. What an amazing ending.
Oh, come on. This is
Yeah. Oh.
just a cutscene.
Hammer stomped. Hammer smashed. Yeah, this is not how I thought this was gonna end. Oh, so maybe we don't need to do that bonus level. Like, is there a point?
Whoa. Great commentary, Kevin. As the
sorry guys.
All right. Great cutscene though. I like it.
Shocked right now. I really didn't think the game was just ending.
Yeah, it was a little
lackluster.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't totally. I guess if you're playing it by yourself and not trying to have a side conversation, it's not so bad. I do like this art of this cutscene. It's just these little like watercolors.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice.
Yeah,
I think this is a cool game. I think it's a cool indie game. I think they've done well.
Yeah, no, it's a really awesome concept. I like the way they designed their puzzles. I'm sure they build on it greatly in the next part, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it's a trilogy, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
But she felt a longing to go back.
And they get to separate now. Now they don't have Freaky Friday, and they all have to share the same body.
Gave her reign over the forest.
Of course, we know, spoiler alert, in part 2 they make it back together again, and in part 3 they're together again. In part 4 they're together again.
You know, I haven't actually seen the spoilers for that. Is that what they do? Is that what they do? They go back to that mechanic, or they have you do like a more of a beat 'em up style with separated characters?
Saving the kingdom.
No, looks like they make the
after being married a few years to a lady
engine of the game design more complicated, because by part 4 it's in 3D and you're doing puzzles in 3D.
I saw that
which is gonna be very interesting. Challenging.
Each of his children mastered the fireball.
They really used the baby sound effect, didn't they?
The whiz. Yep.
I looked it up online, and I guess the wizard's name is Amadeus. All these people have names. All the characters have names.
Ah. Oh, the wizard was a bit of a lecher, as I recall at the beginning of the game. So.
Trine and
all right. Well,
we did it, Kevin.
Yeah. Jeez. Go team, man. Finish the game together. Yeah.
All right.
First game of the pod, guys.
There we go.
First game.
There we go.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
America.
We beat a game. We beat a game. And you know what? You did really well on the climbing part. I was really bad on that last level. I don't really get credit.
You know, you're taking my mind off of the stress. Actually, my shoulder's really tense right now because I was like just hunching it up. I wish I was joking. Like,
you were the super serious lean forward. Yeah. Well,
wow,
so up next we're gonna play Trine 2, and we're gonna finish the Trine series, right? And yeah. We'll not finish.
I'm curious to see what improvements.
4 is gonna come out soonish, right?
No, 4's already out. I think we got it at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got it in the Ultimate Bundle. Did you get the Ultimate Bundle?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you have. I think you have
it. Okay, I'll have to check. I'll have to check.
Don't worry, we're several weeks away from that. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, we went through this pretty quickly. That was what, 4 streams?
Yeah,
5
actually.
Streams? Yeah.
4. Yeah, I think this is the fifth stream.
That's a pretty big team.
This is the 5th stream.
There's a pretty big team on this game, but I guess, yeah, it makes sense. Catering, Teeny Rask. Thank you, Teeny Rask, for all the catering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jeez.
This is nice.
I don't think we can. This is nice. I mean, do we want to rate the game now? Like, I really didn't think it was going to end so suddenly and so quickly.
No, let's do a separate episode and talk about the game.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Because I need to go through and go back to the beginning levels and have a think, because there's a lot of this I'm not thinking of right now, so I want to be fair to the game. But no, my general consensus right now is I had a lot of fun playing that game. I think the mechanic, I'm using the Logitech USB controller, and the right stick. The right stick does not draw triangles well. I would complain about that. And the skeletons were a little too good at shooting the arrows, but you did get used to it after a while. So I think this game has replay value, though, and that's what I was mentioning. I think the game has replay value. Like, once you kind of figure it out, I would
hardcore.
Go back and try it again. So yeah,
the hardcore mode.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be fun. But for now, just going through Trine 2 and Trine 3 and Trine 4. So, very cool.
Jeez.
Very cool.
Soundtrack and memory of
Oh my
Pauline.
goodness.
I missed that.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
There were a lot of people that worked on that game.
Yeah. And again, it seems like every game these days has like a team of like 100 people.
It's like
Plus.
bigger than a movie, you know, pretty much.
Yeah.
It depends on the game. Depends on the game. But definitely, this
Yeah.
game, there's a lot going on in this game. So, very cool. Very cool.
Huh.
All right. Well, you want to send us out, Kevin?
Leaving from credits will disconnect you from the host. Waiting for... Oh, geez, yeah. Guess I am sending this out. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for a relatively short episode this week. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching us play through the Trine series and just talking about random things. And we hope that you will join us for our next episode, because we'll be starting Trine 2. Also, we'll be reviewing this game at some point, and we'll post that as well if you want to check out our full review on what we thought of the whole game. Anyways, so thanks for joining us for Cato in Motion Plays. This is Cato in Motion and producer Mike signing out. Take care, guys. Stay safe. Do, 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 do.